It's not every day we come across a new breed of talent in boxing, and it's not every day we come across a puncher that exceeds all expectations of their weight class. But for this young fighter, an opponent is just one more bowling pin to demolish.
Monster! Naoya!
After climbing his way to the top spot on the pound-for-pound list and steamrolling his way through the Super Series last year, Naoya Inoue sure is proving to be one of boxing's best all-rounded fighters. And carrying a devastating knockout power and lightning hand speed, it's no doubt it will take yet another special fighter to cause him any kind of trouble at all.
This dude is dominating world-class opposition like nobody's business. He is a badass little dude.
Absolutely unbelievable. It's precision, power, speed, everything. And the guy's, just very little, unbelievable.
So as always, if you'd kindly hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications to help our channel grow further, as we take a look at 10 Naoya Inoue knockouts that shocked the world.
And it seems like he's fighting the best, but he's dominating the best. So, you have to take your hat off to a guy that's dominating the best.
Beforehand, though the monster's resume shows a perfect 19-0 winning streak, with 16 knockouts and an 84% knockout-to-win ratio, we've chosen to break down just 10 knockouts from the early half, right up until the latter of Inoue's career. Debuting onto the pro scene in late 2012, Inoue faced Philippine fighter Crisan Omayao, a first test in the pro ranks that would surely see a big step up from the amateurs, and at just 19 years of age demonstrated exactly why he was ready for the big time. As the rounds progressed, Inoue's dominant jab and constant pressure determined the fight, and after just 4 rounds, a sickening left to the body ended Omayao in brutal fashion. 2 years on, and just 5 bouts later, Inoue was already boxing for world recognition as he challenged Mexican WBC champion Adrian Hernandez for the flyweight title. And with just 2 defeats on his record prior, might have even had some say this was the first real test of his career. Though coming out of the gate from the opening bell told a completely different story, as Inoue went to work landing punch-perfect combinations relentlessly, not only to establish his power early, but demonstrating that he possessed a high level of counterpunching ability also. Though the Mexican was able to stand his ground at times, 6 rounds of Inoue's onslaught proved to be all too much on the night of the defending champion. Three bouts later, in third defense of his flyweight title, Inoue faced Warlito Paredes, another Filipino opponent, but one which already been dealt 6 defeats prior to the bout. And as expected, it wasn't long before the sheer brilliance of the monster prevailed, landing endless power shots with complete ease, and by the second, landing a textbook 1-2 that ultimately finished the fight. Two years forward, a clash with former 2-weight world champion Kohei Kono was on the cards. And by now, an 11-win streak, including 9 KOs, was slowly starting to gain the young monster some serious momentum under his belt.
Okay.
Though Inoue struggling to pin Kono down in the initial stages due to his awkward movement and style, 3 rounds was all it took to land that single game changer of a shot, putting him right back in the driver's seat. Pressing forward to the 6th, a brief heated exchange between the two men started what was only going to be the beginning of the end. Swiftly moving forward led to a clash with Mexico's Ricardo Rodriguez, a 16-3 fighter that was supposedly meant to be a handful and a much more challenging assignment for Inoue. But early it was obvious that Inoue's power and precision fared to be noticeably more effective throughout the fight. And after penetrating Rodriguez's guard endlessly and knocking him down early in the 3rd, it was clear that the bout was only going one way. Seven defenses on, experienced French challenger Yoann Boyou posed a new kind of threat, carrying all the advantages of physical attributes. But it appeared all this was completely nullified on the night as the Japanese star showcased the standout and far more superior boxing ability out of the two men. Stunning Boyou late in the 1st and forcing them into survival mode for 2 more grueling rounds. Set up a perfectly landed hook to the ribcage, forcing the fight to a finish. Another day, another title. This time a step up to bantamweight to challenge Britain's Jamie McDonnell for the WBA World Bantamweight strap. Although McDonnell posing confidence after gaining previous wins against Japanese opposition, a well-timed left to the head gave the Brit an alarming wake-up call.
Rounded at the moment, heavy left hand seemed to catch McDonnell high on the head, almost on the top of the head there, and his legs seem a little bit shaky here. A minute and a half into the 1st round, and McDonnell goes with that right hand, left hand, and McDonnell sags into the ropes again, and Luis Pabon, the referee, has jumped in and weighed this off. He's been slain by the monster, and that was exactly what we were hoping that we wouldn't see.
An unfortunate night for the Brit, yet one more belt for bantamweight's new threat. Later that year, Inoue entered the Bantamweight Super Series, a tournament in which catapulted his name further into the history books, and also giving him the ultimate recognition of being one of boxing's most dangerous punchers of today. First up, Juan Carlos Payano, an experienced southpaw holding only 1 loss on his record prior. But this clearly meant very little to the Japanese monster, as 60 seconds was all it took to dispose of his first name of the tournament. Moving on, it was 7 months down the line where Inoue's next challenge awaited ahead in the semi-final showdown. A fight with Puerto Rico's Emmanuel Rodriguez set out to be his biggest challenge yet, and one that was more than capable of causing the upset at the time.
His weight is quite heavily on that front foot too, but we know what he can bring.
A good start from the opening bell for the Puerto Rican had him equally winning the 1st round, but it wasn't until the 2nd where the difference in levels prevailed. And after 2 more knockdowns momentarily after, bagged Inoue his 18th consecutive win.
Left to the body, down goes Rodriguez, he looks at the corner and he shakes his head and he's not going to make it. 2 minutes left in the round, down he goes again, and I'm sure that is going to be that. He's down for a 3rd time within the space of seconds, really, again.
And last of all, Though the final of the tournament against Nonito Donaire didn't end in the knockout victory as to the others, the 12-round toe-to-toe war was no doubtedly going to be a contender for Fight of the Year.
Donaire, slightly taller, slightly bigger, but the bigger punch is certainly Inoue in there.
An all-action competitive fight between two of the very best, and one that had fans on the edge of their seats all night. An acid test for Inoue battling against a physically bigger man, and also a test of how well he fares at the very top of the food chain.
This is good stuff from Donaire, it really is, forcing the pace, putting pressure on Inoue that we've never seen before.
Evenly matched throughout, a hard right hand from Donaire swayed the fight in his favor mid-fight, but after displaying a granite chin and bulletproof mentality, a thunderous blow to the body gave Inoue the latter rounds, ending in an ultimate victory, winning the tournament.